Welcome to this new video where we're going to talk a little bit about racing game news, with quite a few good updates. We've discussed two new racing games announced with Gamescom and have lots of details about them. We're going to talk a bit about all their features, and of course, we'll also discuss the big news of the day, which is really exciting. The fact that The Crew 1, which had disappeared because Ubisoft decided to shut down the servers last year, well, the game is coming back in a few days, completely free. So, we're going to talk about all that today. Like I was saying, we're going to start by talking a little bit about some new racing games that have been announced and revealed in the past few days. Alongside Gamescom, we're already going to talk a little bit about Lead the Dragon. This game is clearly inspired by Need for Speed, combining elements of Need for Speed Carbon and Most Wanted. We're playing an open-world arcade racing game set in a United States-inspired universe, featuring a unique art style. The screen remains dark, with some flashy purple hues, and an interface that looks a bit like the racing games from the 2000s, kind of like Need for Speed. You can drive and customize various cars, and the game supports steering wheel play. Though it's arcade style, it still aims for a good dose of realism. The game features an optional driving system for a customizable experience and includes several unique features. One of them is that you'll have to choose during your career between 3 different clubs. The American Club. So, cars that are a bit heavier, more resistant to collisions, and equipped with anti-police gear. The European cars are lighter, a bit less resistant to impacts, but more maneuverable. Finally, the Japanese cars will serve as an intermediate, highly customizable solution. As you can see, in this game, there will be a lot of collisions and a lot of police chases. It's one of the major elements of the gameplay in this game, and it's really, let's say, the Need for Speed Most Wanted touch. We're going to have some really aggressive cops, who will have a whole arsenal, like roadblocks, spikes, and helicopters. And the cops are really going to be aggressive, they're really going to ram into you. Unlike, for example, the cops in the latest Need for Speed games, who are really passive, more than aggressive. There will be drifting, sprint races, and distance-based races. That's a brief overview. Need for Speed Carbon. Remember in Carbon, there was the Canyon Challenge, where you had to get a certain distance ahead of the bosses on the winding canyon roads in order to win the event. It's similar here, in the same environment, and there are also time trials. It's a game designed as a spiritual revival of Need for Speed, which sadly no longer exists, featuring 90s-style art and a high-intensity game. Currently, there's no release date or platform announcement. It's on PC for now. It might come to consoles later. I wanted to discuss Street Racing Federation. Agile sent me the trailer link on Twitter. Thank you if you ever come across this. Here, we're changing the atmosphere and artistic direction entirely, as Street Racing Federation is an open-world drift simulator. It's a fairly recent project. There's still much to do before the game is great, but the first images already excite me. Personally, we're looking at a game that has a pretty chill, laid-back vibe, an open world that somehow reminds me of Horizon 4. Maybe that's why. Also because in this game there's a weather system, with rain but also snow. And of course, it reminds me of the good times that Redembo used to have back then. For now, we don't have a lot of information about the game, aside from confirmation of traffic and pedestrians. Sometimes this enhances the game's realistic feel. It's designed for realism and steering wheel play. It will offer customization. We actually saw a little preview of the workshop. We see the car on a lift, with a few small examples of customization that are pretty cool. For the exterior, the paint booth, or customizing the vehicle's interior, even with small cool options. The possibility, for example, to change the leather, with several different types of leather. It's actually pretty nice graphically. An interior view is confirmed, but no release date has been announced yet. We know it's going to be released on PC, but unfortunately I don't think it will come to consoles, because it's really too small of a studio for now. Maybe one day, we shouldn't lose hope. For now, it's best to release it on PC first. In any case, these are 2 new projects to add to the list of independent racing games currently in development. I'm really looking forward to seeing what's next. I'm glad to see that even when publishers drop franchises like Electronic Arts with Need for Speed, many small studios are highly motivated to create original, sometimes niche projects. So I'm really looking forward to seeing this whole new generation of racing games come out. And so, to finish, we're still going to talk about the big good news of the day. The Crew 1 will become playable again. That's really great news. Just a reminder, Ubisoft shut down The Crew 1 and closed its servers last year. And since it's a game that requires an internet connection, well, no servers means you can't connect anymore, which means you can't play, even solo. Since the shutdown happened, there's been a team of fans on Discord who have tried to bring the game back to life. It's called The Crew Unlimited, and after months of beta testing, months of trying to relaunch the game, they finally succeeded. And The Crew one will be playable again for free. Starting September 15, 2025, the 13 days will go by quickly. For now, we don't really know how it will be downloadable, installable, and playable. What we do know is that the developers of this project have shared a website, thecrewunlimited.com. I'll also put the link in a pinned comment if I remember. Their website offers a full project presentation, including details on the game's improvements. Because, well, even if 99% of the game is going to be like the original, there are some small things that have been customized and improved in the game by the developers of this project, especially to fix some small bugs that were left in the game. Also to tweak the physics a little bit, for the jumps, for example. It was a bit odd in The Crew. The website has all the project info, but you can't download it yet. We'll need to wait until September 15th for the website's download page to update so we can get the launcher. If I understood correctly, here's a brief summary of how it will work since Ubisoft hasn't reopened its servers. Basically, thanks to this launcher and thanks to this project, we'll be our own server, meaning our machine, our PC. We'll run our server locally. The Crew, which we can connect to ourselves to play. I still think it's amazing the community did this in just a few months. And Ubisoft still hasn't provided an offline patch, which would let all PC players play again. For console players, there's currently no solution, but I think the Crew Unlimited team is working on it, specifically on the possibility of using a PC, personally, as a server, to connect with the console versions. But there's probably still a lot of work to do to get to a playable version. So, that's the solution. For now, it's on PC. We'll see in a while, maybe we'll have some good news for the console versions too. In the meantime, it's still nice to be able to play this banger that was The Crew again. We've covered everything for today. See you tomorrow with a classic gameplay video. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't hesitate to leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. And well, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.